you're about to spend $2,000 on a puppy, watch this before you send a deposit. Because right now, somebody in Ohio, somebody in Texas, and somebody in Serbia are all selling you the exact same dog under 3 different names. And one of those names is quietly linked to a defect the AKC won't let the parents compete with. I'm not talking about mixed breeds. I'm talking about purebred, papered, certified Rottweilers. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I'll show you exactly which of these 7 types is worth your money, which one is a marketing trick, and which one you should walk away from, no matter how good the price looks. Let's start with the one everybody's heard of and almost nobody understands correctly, the German Rottweiler. This is the one breeders charge the most for, and for once, the price tag is mostly earned. In Germany, 2 Rottweilers can't just breed because they're both Rottweilers. The parents have to pass a test called a Zuchttauglichkeitsprüfung, a full-day evaluation where strangers approach the dog from odd angles, gunshots are simulated nearby, and a stranger acts aggressive toward the handler, just to see what the dog actually does under real pressure. Fail that test, and those 2 dogs never produce puppies. That's why German line Rottweilers run heavier, broader in the skull, thicker boned, usually 85 to 130 pounds, and almost always have a natural, undocked tail, because docking's been restricted there for years. The American Rottweiler is the one you'll actually find in most driveways across the US. And here's the part that'll annoy you. The AKC does not require that same suitability test. None of it. So American Rottweiler doesn't describe a dog. It describes a paperwork category. I found a breeder in Ohio charging $2,500 for AKC puppies from imported German parents, structurally identical to a dog bred in Munich. 3 states over, another breeder is charging $900 for AKC puppies with 0 hip testing, 0 temperament screening, docked tail, same registration, same label on the paper. 2 completely different animals standing behind it. The Roman Rottweiler is where this gets genuinely upsetting. Breeders market these as the biggest, most powerful version. Some even claim they're a throwback to the war dogs Roman legions used 2,000 years ago. Listings advertise dogs pushing 150 pounds. Here's what they don't advertise. Rottweilers already carry roughly a 20% rate of hip dysplasia and elbow dysplasia numbers, pushing 37% according to OFA data, the same organization that certifies joints for the AKC. Breeding for extra size and mass on top of that isn't creating a premium dog. It's stacking weight onto joints that are already a coin flip. Some of these Roman litters aren't even purebred. They've got Mastiff crossed in to hit that size number, then get sold at a markup because Roman sounds like it belongs in a Ridley Scott movie. The Serbian Rottweiler followed almost the identical playbook, just with a different look. Marketed on size and a blockier, shorter muzzled head, the kind of face that gets more likes on Instagram. Problem is, the ADRK, the actual German Rottweiler Club, flags that shortened muzzle as a disqualifying fault, not a selling point. I pulled listings from 3 different Serbian line breeders while writing this. Prices from $1,200 to $2,800. And the wrinkliest, widest-faced puppies were priced the highest every single time. Not one listing mentioned a hip score. We've watched this exact story play out with French bulldogs and pugs for 20 years. Breed the face shorter, sell it as unique, and quietly hand the owner a dog that struggles to breathe in July. Give it 5 more years, and someone will be calling this the premium bloodline with a straight face. The tailed Rottweiler, sometimes called European or natural tail, isn't really its own category at all. It's just a Rottweiler bred anywhere that hasn't banned tail docking, wearing the tail nature gave it. That's it. That's the whole type. It's not a bloodline difference. It's a scissors decision someone didn't make. The miniature Rottweiler is the one I have 0 patience for. There is no small version of this breed, full stop. What's actually being sold under that name is either a cross with something like a corgi or a beagle, or a dog carrying an unscreened dwarfism gene. You end up with the entire Rottweiler temperament: protective, stubborn, need serious structure and training, stuffed into a body whose joints were never built to carry it. If you want a small dog, buy a small breed. Don't buy a Rottweiler wearing a costume. The blue Rottweiler rounds out the list, and it's the simplest con of all 7. That steel blue-black coat everyone thinks looks rare and expensive is a color dilution, and it's reliably linked to thinning coat and increased skin problems. Both the AKC and the ADRK disqualify it outright in their breed standards. It's not exotic. It's a documented fault that happens to photograph beautifully in a sunset shot on a breeder's website. So, here's where I land, and I want you to actually use this the next time you're looking at a litter. Forget the name entirely. German, American, Roman, Serbian, none of that tells you what you're buying. What tells you is 2 things. Did both parents get their hips and elbows OFA certified? And did they pass a real temperament evaluation, not a beauty contest? A correctly bred Rottweiler, under any label, gives you the same dog at the end of the day. Calm until it isn't. Loyal past the point of reason. The kind of animal that puts itself between you and a stranger without waiting to be told to. The breeders selling you on a name instead of a health certificate are betting you won't ask the second question. Ask it anyway. And here's the number nobody puts in the listing. The price of the puppy is the smallest check you'll ever write for this dog. A hip replacement for a Rottweiler runs $3,500 to $7,000 per joint in the US. And if you bought the Roman or Serbian version because it looked more impressive in the thumbnail, you didn't just buy a bigger dog, you bought a higher chance of writing that check twice. Add food for a 100-plus pound animal, vet visits, pet insurance that costs double what it does for a Labrador because insurers know exactly what breed they're underwriting. And suddenly that $900 bargain Rottweiler with no health testing behind it is the most expensive dog on this entire list. Cheap up front, brutal for the next 10 years. That's not an opinion. That's just what the math does every single time. I've talked to breeders on both ends of this. The ones running full OFA panels before a single puppy is even conceived, and the ones who found out what Roman Rottweiler meant from a Facebook ad last month and started breeding for it by the weekend. The difference isn't passion. Both of them love the breed, or at least say they do. The difference is which one is willing to tell a buyer no. No, this pairing isn't happening because the hips didn't clear. No, we're not breeding her again this year. No, you can't have a puppy from this litter because you're not doing the training this breed actually needs. The breeders selling you a name instead of a number are, almost without exception, the ones who never say no to anything.